Now at 10, the latest on a homicide investigation in Pittsburgh leading to charges. Plus,
for decades, residents of Ottawa County, Oklahoma have dealt with flooding water that's been contaminated from Tar Creek Superfund site. We'll have more on this in just a little bit.
Also, the Pittsburgh mayor recognizes an initiative to warm up residents, and Missouri Southern women's basketball claims the top spot in the MIAA preseason coaches poll.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
An autopsy report reveals the extent of a Miami, Oklahoma man's injuries from a fatal hit and run. This is KOAM News at 10. I'm Dow Quick. The crash happened in Miami back in February. Authorities responded to reports of a man down on the road. When they arrived, they found that a car had hit 55-year-old Quang Jin Yi. He was pronounced dead at the scene. The autopsy report shows the victim suffered 56 specific injuries and that he had multiple blunt force injuries that led to his death. They say his death was classified as an accident. Authorities charged Mindy McBrien in April for first-degree manslaughter and leaving the scene of a fatality accident. The court has continued her case 5 times, according to court documents, with her next court date set for November. You can find the autopsy report and a breakdown of events on our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. A Pittsburgh man is charged with the murder of his wife. Authorities were responding to a wellness check shortly after noon yesterday for a woman in a home on the 1300 block of Cedar Crest Drive. Officers had to forcefully enter the house where they found the body of 54-year-old Michelle Fontenot. The investigation quickly led to the victim's husband, 60-year-old Timothy Fontenot, as the primary suspect. Officers later stopped Fontenot's vehicle as he tried to return to the scene. Police say when officers tried to forcibly remove him from his vehicle, he drove towards several officers. Police managed to arrest him on charges of second-degree murder, aggravated assault of a law enforcement officer, and felony interference with law enforcement. Authorities have arrested 4 people in connection with a suspected attempted murder and robbery in Fort Scott, Kansas. Fort Scott police released information yesterday, but the crime happened on September 24th. Authorities responded to the 400 block of Andrick in Fort Scott. They found 39-year-old Kenneth Bevins lying on the grass with multiple injuries. As of yesterday, police had arrested 4 people in connection with that crime. 2 are juveniles, 2 are adults. Formal charges have been filed against the adults, 20-year-old Tavin Eisenbrandt and 23-year-old Michael Sheriff. Court documents allege Eisenbrandt robbed Bevins, taking his knife and stabbing him with it. They also allege Michael Sheriff stomped on Bevins' head. At last report, Bevins remained in critical condition. More than 120 years of active mining and contamination within Tar Creek Superfund site have led to a public health crisis among Ottawa County, Oklahoma's 31,000 residents. KOAM's Carrie Worthen is in Miami with the latest.
A flood is always dangerous water. It always is, because it mixes with everything that it may have come in contact with.
Rebecca Jim is an executive director of the local environmental action demanded agency. Her goal is to clean up Tar Creek so it is safe for residents of Ottawa County.
There is a lot right in the floodplain that needs to be addressed, and we hope that they'll do it very quickly.
One of the largest Superfund sites is just miles north from Miami, Oklahoma. Rebecca says it's around 40 square miles.
It was the site of one of the largest lead and zinc mines in the world. And when it was abandoned, the mine waste was left piled on the ground from here to yonder. The site is as big as the city of Tulsa.
The MAP project began in 2020 when a member of Cherokee Nation partnered with Thriving Earth Exchange to create a tool that could visually showcase what happens with Tar Creek floods.
And what our map maker did was, she did the whole county. So now all of us can see how flooding affects all of us.
With the 24th Annual National Environmental Tar Creek Conference, Rebecca says it's the most important one, and she hopes that citizens of Ottawa County will attend.
What are they doing? What's a cleanup look like? What is cleanup? What's restitution? How do you resolve a problem that's this polluted? Who takes it on? Who are these people? and we get them an opportunity to meet us.
In Miami, Carrie Worthen, KOAM News.
The 24th Annual National Environmental Tar Creek Conference is tomorrow and Thursday in Miami at NEO College. Let's check in with Doug Hetty for a first look at the weather.
Well, down we got some scattered showers across the region last night into the morning, even into the afternoon hours, and then some sunshine during the evening, and that helped us warm up into the mid-70s. 76, 63 were your numbers for you today. Rain stats, not a lot, better than none. 0.12 inches at the airport, 34.5 for the year. We're behind by 2.5 inches of rain, so we still need it. Look at the bands of showers throughout the afternoon, then it all pulls off toward the east during the evening hours. Now we got clear skies, but we're tracking more thunderstorms. Northern parts of Kansas and southeastern Nebraska, and some of these are going to head in our direction late tonight and tomorrow morning. Scattered thunderstorms, then we break out and see some sunshine. I'm going to give you the details on these storms coming up in just a bit.
See you then. Thursday, October 20th, will now be known as Project Warmth Day in Pittsburgh. Mayor Cheryl Brooks recognized that event with its own day. Project Warmth started as a way to help people with utilities in Crawford County as temperatures start to drop. Funds are distributed through Catholic charities and the Salvation Army, and volunteers are always welcomed.
I'm lucky enough to be able to do this, so I see people I know, but it makes me feel really good to be able to help people that may not be able to help themselves.
Project Warmth has been serving the community for more than 30 years. That event is going to be in person this year. Pitt State today hosted a conference to discuss the outlook of the local economy. Officials say the local economy relies on the status of the national economy. However, Pittsburgh economists are optimistic about growth within the city. Officials expect both Pittsburgh and the state economy to grow.
I think Kansas will do better, even on the energy side as well, another one. We'll do better relative to the U.S. in this context. So a 0% growth net, which will decline the first half but come back, but we have driving sectors that will allow us to do better here.
Despite the labor force being smaller, the growing population could soon meet the demand. The Miami Police Chief and the Miami Drone Team were at Wyandotte High School today. The team showed the aviation class of the school different types of drones, drone programs, and their uses. The police chief says technology is evolving and students should be aware.
You know, this technology is emerging. It's an up-and-coming field, and for young aviation students, it's a great demonstration to see what it can do right now. And by the time they're graduated and in the field, the capabilities will just be tenfold again. It is ever evolving field, and just to show them what the capabilities are now and what they can get into, I think it's important to them to see what these can be used for.
The Miami PD drone team is the only law enforcement agency drone team in operation in Northeast Oklahoma. Coming up, the latest on a cost of living adjustment to Social Security due to inflation. Plus, some kiddos in Carthage celebrate community helpers. The federal government's expected to announce its largest cost of living adjustment to Social Security in 4 decades on Thursday. It's a move designed to help Social Security recipients deal with rising inflation. Reporter Joe Hickman spoke to Springfield, Missouri residents about how it'll affect them and has more.
I live on Social Security, so I'm very excited about it.
Marietta Myers is one of many patrons at the Springfield Southside Senior Center, where news that the cost of living adjustment for Social Security is about to increase next year came as a much-needed bright spot in a world where inflation has seen prices go up for groceries, gas, and monthly bills.
Rent is a big issue we have seen across our seniors.
The cost of living adjustment for this year was 5.9%, which turned out to be 48% lower than the inflation rate, meaning the average beneficiary has been shortchanged $417. But starting in 2023, the cost of living adjustment is expected to go up to 8.7%, the highest change in over 40 years. And Myers says it will make a difference.
Sometimes it's the difference between affording your medication or affording something to eat or your utilities, and that will actually make a big difference.
That'd be $160 a year or a month. I get about 2,000, and that helped a little bit.
Larry Voris, another Springville resident, says every little bit helps when it comes to trying to make ends meet, especially during a time when things can change quickly as you get older.
I'd lost my wife a year ago, and I lost her Social Security, and now then just one, it's hard.
Social Security, for some people, is their only monthly income, so I don't think this increase is going to be the fix-all, so to speak, because it's still not enough to completely offset the increase of cost for everything else.
But there is one other piece of good news, as Medicare Plan B premium payments, which increased by 14.5% last year and one of the biggest jumps ever, will be coming down in 2023.
It's currently $170.10, and then it'll go down to $164.90.
And for the rest of the decade, Medicare will be making more changes to try and bring more savings.
So one of the first changes that'll take place this year is a cap on insulin for $35 for a covered insulin on your plan.
Even though the Social Security Administration will announce the adjustment this week, seniors and others on the program will have to wait until January to receive those higher payments. Destroying things can sometimes be fun. So the city of Miami hosted a ribbon cutting for the demolition of the Miami Ford building. That building is going to be replaced by a new Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram store.
We love the city of Miami, and the city of Miami has been very supportive of the John Vance Auto Group, and I believe the John Vance Auto Group has been very supportive of the city of Miami. It's a great partnership.
They expect this new building to be finished in about a year. Kindergartners at Mark Twain Elementary in Carthage, Missouri spent the day celebrating community helpers. Community helpers can be anyone who goes above and beyond to help their community, such as police and firefighters and paramedics. The Jasper County Sheriff's Department stopped by the school to talk about how they help the community.
Emphasize it's important for parents to have that conversation as well. Learning things like their address, learning things like what to do, those are all very important to learn. I just love to connect with the kids on a personal basis when they talk about things like safety in the community.
It's a week-long celebration, and the Carthage Fire Department is going to visit Thursday at 2 p.m. to also discuss how they help the community. A little bit later, the Carl Junction Bulldogs face the Willard Tigers in the quarterfinals of softball playoffs.
Plus rain chances increasing again for us later on tonight. I'll have those details coming up. Well, of course, we got some scattered showers out there through the morning into the afternoon hours. Sunshine appeared by the evening hours, and at least we got some rain. It wasn't a lot, but we'll take whatever we can get. Clear skies right now. Nice shot. Indigo Sky Casino and Resort. Indigo just outside Seneca, Missouri. All right, look at the bands of showers through the morning into the afternoon. Most of these were out of here 3, 4 p.m. We cleared out. That's what we have for us right now is clear skies, but hopefully we'll get a little bit more rain in here later on tonight. Here's our rainfall amounts. Very light. In the lighter shade, we're looking at 1, maybe 2/10 of an inch. A little bit more once you get out across Montgomery County, parts of Lebec County, a little bit more than 1/4 of an inch of rain. It's not a lot, but we'll definitely take what we can get. Tracking some thunderstorms, southeastern parts of Nebraska. These are going to drop into northwestern Missouri, but along the front continue to backbuild. And some of those are going to clip us later on tonight as this wave starts to head toward us as we go through the next several hours. So let's go ahead and break this down. It's going to be fine for the next several hours. Clear skies. It's going to be windy. 4, 5 a.m. they start to work in our northwestern counties. So this is Yates Center, Chanute, Iola, starting to get some scattered thunderstorms. The southern extent probably isn't going to get south of the Kansas-Oklahoma state line. 6:30 in the morning, wet start on the Kansas side and the Missouri side north of I-44. As we continue through the morning hours, these will work south of I-44 on the Missouri side. But again, if you live in Oklahoma, not much in the way of rainfall. And even the areas that do get rain, we're not going to see a lot. Most of this gone by 10. The clouds start to break up by the afternoon. We warm into the mid-70s, 73 in Neosho, 77 in Miami, Chanute, up to about 75 degrees. We do clear out completely tomorrow night, kind of chilly down into the mid-40s for overnight lows. And then as we work into Thursday, another nice day. Looks like high temps mainly into lower 70s for afternoon highs. So rain chances, we're going to be dry in the next several hours. Once we get past 4, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, our rain chances go up. Best chances 6, 7, 8 a.m. and then start to taper off as we get late in the morning. Rainfall amounts, again, not a lot, but at least some. Most of the Kansas side, 1-2 tenths of an inch, maybe 1/4 of an inch. Much of the same southwestern Missouri, and then a sharp cutoff once you get into northeastern parts of Oklahoma. So a little bit of a wet start, sunshine by the afternoon, 75 by 5. That should be our high temperature, but it's going to be windy. Winds gusting tonight, right around 30 miles per hour. They'll start to calm down once the front rolls in tomorrow morning, and then they pick up again tomorrow afternoon. So let's watch it. Trash can. It's not going to be gone. It's not going to be in your neighbor's yard, but it probably will be knocked over as it gets a little breezy for us tonight and tomorrow. 75 tomorrow, 72 Thursday, 78 Friday, maybe a few showers Saturday. Overall temperatures looking pretty good.
So I guess I should bring in the trash can.
The reason I use that graphic is because mine knocked over today and I was not happy.
No, and sure it wasn't raccoons.
It could have been.
It could have been. Beware of raccoons or high winds, folks. Thanks, Doug. Jacob now with sports. Playoff time for Missouri High School softball.
Yeah, we're going to have highlights from the Class 4 District 7 tournament in Webb City. Plus, Joplin hits the field against Neosho. And the Missouri Southern women claim the top spot in the MIAA preseason coaches poll. More on that when we come back. It is playoff time for high school softball in Southwest Missouri. In Webb City tonight, the Cardinals host the Class 4 District 7 tournament. Now the quarterfinals this evening. First up, it's Carl Junction facing Willard, with the winner of this one facing Nevada in the semifinals. Willard hit the ball hard most of the afternoon. Fourth inning, Allison Miller puts it off the scoreboard there. 2-run shot from Miller. She drives in 4 today. Next batter, just a few pitches later, Hannah Burks. That clears the fence and left. Burks makes it back-to-back for Willard. Tigers in control, but in the fourth inning, Carl Junction not going to quit. Sammy Sims goes opposite field here, finds some grass. She's in there for the double. Next batter, very next pitch, Maddie Olds drives it to center. Thought she cleared the wall, but it's off the fence. Sims scores. CJ gets 2 back in the inning. It's Willard moving on to the district semifinals 14-3. On the other side of the bracket, 2 other quarterfinal games tonight. McDonald County on the field against Monette. A good one there, but the Mustangs beat the Cubs 2-0. Then tournament host Webb City faces Bolivar. Laney Taylor, complete game for the Cardinals, allowing just 1 hit. Webb City wins that one 7-0. In the Class 5 District 5 tournament in Springfield, big one here in the quarterfinals. Joplin facing COC rival Neosho tonight. It is Joplin winning a good one, 2-1. They move on to face top-seeded Ozark in the district semifinals tomorrow night. Well, today is MIAA Basketball Media Day in Kansas City. On the women's side, in the preseason coaches poll, Pittsburgh State Gorillas have been picked to finish 8th in the MIAA. As for the Missouri Southern Lions, not really a surprise here. They're number 1 in the MIAA preseason poll. The Lions finished as co-league champions last year. They returned 10 players from that team, including MIAA Player of the Year Lacey Stokes. Stokes averaged 19 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, and 3 steals per game last year. And according to her head coach, she's only getting better.
Her work ethic's unbelievable. Just her mindset of how hard she works and how much she studies the game and learns. She's a quick learner. Coach Porter can walk her through something in the morning, in the afternoon she's working on it in practice. To me, I think that's a great thing. If we can have the kid that was Player of the Year in our league that continues to get better, we got a good chance to be successful.
On the men's side, new coaches this year for both Pitt State and Missouri Southern. Jeff Boschee enters his first year with the Gorillas, while Sam McMahon heading into his first year leading the Lions. Missouri Southern is 8th in the coaches poll. Pitt State is a couple spots behind them at 10th. And both teams will open up the season on November 11th in Kansas City at the Central Region Tip-Off Challenge. The Kansas City Chiefs won a good one last night, beating the rival Raiders 30-29. The Chiefs are now 4-1 in their first 5 games. It was a nice night for the Kansas City offense. Marquez Valdez-Scantling had 6 catches for 90 yards. McCole Hardman caught 4 passes for 73 yards. But like a lot of games, Travis Kelce was the star in this one. He had 7 catches, just 25 yards, but 4 of those catches were for touchdowns.
I knew when he caught the 4th one that it was the 4th one. I didn't realize he had like 7 catches, 4 touchdowns. But they had a good game plan of kind of that old New England, hit him off the line of scrimmage, double cover him and stuff like that. I thought the other guys responded and made some big plays happen, and that's what we needed to see out of our offense. We needed guys like McCole, Marquez, Sky, Juju. We need those guys to step up in different games and make big plays, and today it was Marquez that was the big guy that made a lot of big plays happen. That's stuff that we're going to need because, obviously people know we're going to throw Travis the ball, so they're going to, in certain situations, they're going to double team him. And if we can show we can win with other guys, that'll kind of take that away, and then we can open up the entire offense.
So he says they had a good game plan against Kelce, and he scored 4 times. So it could not have been that good.
Yeah, they stopped him everywhere except near the goal line.
Right.
And he scored and scored and scored and scored. We'll be right back. Take time now to honor a local veteran. Elda Turner served in the U.S. Army in 1953 and 54. His hometown, Nevada, Missouri. And we are proud to salute Corporal Elda Turner, a 4-state hero. Let Doug Hetty get his jacket on so he looks all professional.
I think your mic's
You didn't even put on your microphone.
No, I didn't.
Rookie. All right. All right. I'll tell you what. I'll share.
Okay, cool.
And you talk about the weather.
Yeah, it looks good for us tonight. We're going to drop back into the mid-50s, but we are going to get some scattered thunderstorms, which we need tomorrow morning, 75 for a high.
Final sports notes.
I got my own. Missouri Southern football on the road against Central Missouri on Saturday. We're going to hear from the Lions on that matchup right here tomorrow night.
Thanks for joining us. Morning show, 5 a.m. Let's make it a great tomorrow.